In this video, I want to demonstrate how to do a CMA in Matrix. First, let me show you where your CMAs are found. If you hover over the My Matrix tab, you'll go down, you'll see a section called My CMAs. By clicking on My CMAs, this opens up all of your existing CMAs. Now, you'll also notice down here, we have an option to start a brand new CMA. Now, by clicking on that, that opens up your CMA process here. And very similar to the old system, we have a little wizard that will take you through all these options. In the old system, it was just going down vertically on the side here. In Matrix, it just goes across the top here. But what I like to show you is the way I like to do a CMA is by starting with the Search tab. Hover over the search and choose the property type that you want to do your CMA for. So in this example, I want to pick on residential. Now, once I've got that here, what I'll need to do is now I'll search for my search my comps, my competition that I have. So I definitely like to do solds, and you notice as soon as I type in, click on solds, it automatically puts in a date range of 90 days back. Now, if I don't like that 90-day back period, what I can also do is take this out and type in such as 180 days back, or I can go back 365 days if I need to. Now, what I can also do here is type in a date here, such as January 1st of 2015. But now be careful, if you type in a date here, it's going to assume exactly that date, nothing greater than or before that. So it's very important that I put a plus sign after that, and it would give me everything after or on that date or after that. Instead of the plus sign, I can always do my dash and then type in a greater date range here, and it would give me everything in between those two dates there. But I like to use my 0 to 90 days back or whatever. So you pick your statuses. I'm just going to do actives and solds. You can do any criteria in here. You can do anything in here. So I'm just going to do some basic criteria for my for this CMA purpose here. I'm going to say exactly 3 bedrooms, exactly 2 full baths, and so forth here. Maybe even narrow this down by 1,500 to 2,000 square feet there. Now, once I am happy with that, I can look at my results. Now, I'm going to have to do the second most important part of doing a CMA. And that's finding the comps that I want. So in this case, I'm going to pick 3 active listings. You can pick several actives and several solds. I just like to choose 3 actives and 3 solds. So after careful evaluation and looking at these listings here, I decided that these 6 listings that I checked are the ones I want to be in my CMA. Now, all I have to do next to create the CMA is come down here at the bottom and use the CMA button down here. But before I click on the CMA button here, I want to show you some other options that we have that might be useful into doing a CMA. We do have a one-line CMA option down here at the bottom that I can click on, and what this does is opens up another tab that will show me a nice little spreadsheet of the breakdown of those 6 houses that I picked. So in this case, the 3 actives, the 3 solds, and it gives me some nice statistics over here ready for me to use. Now, you'll also notice that you cannot email this view right here. You can only print it or save it as a PDF, but there is a way you can email this report. Let me show you how you do that. Just let me go right back to where I was in Matrix. Instead of clicking on the one-line CMA, I would need to hit the print button, because if I hit the email button, what it's going to do is going to email those 6 listings to my client on the portal view. I do not want that. What I want to do is go to the print option, because within the print option, there's an option not only to print that one-line CMA report, but I can email that CMA one-line report right here. Okay? So once again, it's just simply right underneath the print button here that I would be able to choose the CMA one-line report. And while we're in here, let me also show you that this is where you find your side-by-side comparison sheet also A lot of people are looking for this screen or this sheet here that puts them side by side, all three houses. So when I come in here, I could either email that or hit the print the PDF option. And what this is going to do is going to pull up those 6 houses and put them side by side. And this is one reason why I like to do 3 actives and 3 solds, is because this first page gives me 3 active listings and the second page gives me 3 sold listings here. Okay, so that's where the 3 up side by side is at, is actually under this print option here. Now, to take those 6 listings and go into the CMA wizard, what I'm going to do is hit the CMA button down here, and then it takes me to this wizard that we just saw a few moments ago. Now, the first tab is the start, so I'm going to open this up, choose my option, my client here, and I'm going to pick on Ben here, and then I'm going to go to pages. Underneath pages is where I'm going to choose my pages. Now you'll notice also that there's no pages selected yet. You're going to have to pick the pages that you want, given that are the available ones over here given to you. So there are 2 cover sheets, there's some subject properties, there's some comparable properties here, and also very important to know, you can upload your own pages here. It's underneath the custom pages. So here, if you have your own cover letter or title page, cover sheet, office profile sheet, you can upload it and use your own instead of our pages in here. Next, if I want any of these pages in here, just by clicking on one of those, pulls it right over to the side here. So if I want to come over here and pick the summary list, just click on it, pulls it right over. If I click on the price adjustments, pulls it right over. Now also, what I think is a good thing to do is probably have all your pages. When you first come in here, you don't really know what's a good page and what's not a good page. So I kind of like to recommend adding all my pages. So instead of clicking on each one individually, just click on the comparables tab here and it pulls them all over to the right hand side. And I can do that for this next category called static. Now these static pages never change. There's some good tips and stuff that you can share with your clients, but a lot of them are kind of redundant and kind of talk about the same things, such as pricing and overpricing and the importance of pricing. So what you might want to do is just pick them all, pull them all over, and then that way when you look at this, you'll be able to decide which ones you want to use or not. And then I can also pull over the map, the CMA map. Now once I got pages over here, I can use this arrow and move them up and put them in the order that I like. And then I can pick one that I may not like and hit the X and it gets rid of it there. So you can go through this, move them up, move them down, and delete them. Now you're not really sure what they are, so the only way to really preview them is to go to your Save button down here, and I'll show you that in just a second. Once you go to the Save button, or I'm sorry, the Finish button, once you go to the Finish tab, you'll be able to view it and then look at it, and once you know what pages you don't like, come right back in here, start taking them out, and once you get this order the way you like it and you upload your own pages that you like, set it as your default. Once you set it as your default, you'll never have to go back in and add those pages and put those pages back in there. It'll stay that way until you change your default again. So I think that's very important to do. Next, after that, you'll notice the next tab, you got a subject tab here. The subject tab is the subject property. Now you can type it in manually, so if it's not in the MLS, you can just go and type it in manually and add your own photo and stuff. And that's very important to do because then on the side-by-side views, you'll be able to see them subject property right next to each of the comparable ones side by side. If you know the MLS number, let's say it's already in the system or had been in the system, you can type it in there. Or if you're not sure if it's ever been listed in the past, you can search for it and do this here. Let me share a nice little tip here. A lot of times you're doing the CMA to hopefully get the listing. So what you could do, instead of wasting all your time manually entering all the fields, you could first go into the input section and add it as a incomplete listing. Okay, once it's an incomplete listing with a lot of the information you need and the photos of the house, save it as incomplete. It will give you an MLS number. With that MLS number as incomplete, you now start coming in here and start typing in the MLS number of the incomplete one and hit fill, and it's going to pull over that information from that temporary listing or incomplete listing, so that way later on, after you get this listing contract, you'll be able to come back in to the input tab and finish inputting it and making it active, and you won't waste a lot of time adding your criteria back in for your property here. Okay, so I just pulled up a one I was just playing around with, and I got some information here. Next is the cover page, cover sheet, and this just shows in the subject property, Ben's address, my contact information. You can go to your comparables tab. These are those 6 comps. Months or weeks later, you can always select some and remove them, or you can go back and hit the add from listings box, and it will remember your criteria that you previously searched by, which will be nice. Let me use the back button here. So you can always add and subtract some listings down the road. Then there's a map button that will just map your listings. You'll be able to use your adjustments tab here, making your pricing adjustments, which I'd always kind of caution people with also on here. And then the pricing tab. And under the pricing tab, it'll give you all the low, high, average, medium numbers here, but there's a little section here called suggested price. Now, just by clicking in there, it goes away, and what you could do here is just simply type in what you think should be the price you list your house at. So I'm going to type in 199,000. Now there's also a notes section here that you could type in and explain what you think, why you came up with that. But once you're done and you hit the Finish tab, you're going to see all those pages in here, and now it gives you the chance to view the CMA. So if I hit the View CMA button here, it's just going to simply open up the CMA process, and it'll give it a moment here because there's a lot of pages in there. So in the meantime, I'm going to go back to my Matrix tab here on CMA while it's pulling up the pages. You'll also notice it auto saves it periodically, but there is a little disk, a little save button here that I can click on that will save it. And that red button there, be careful with that one. That one will delete your CMA if you don't want it anymore. So while that CMA is opening up, if I go back to my Pages tab here, if I look at my CMA, what opens, you can kind of look or preview all the pages that you have in your CMA. And let me show you that pricing page. That pricing page I think was pretty cool, because what it's going to do is going to give you a little paragraph here. So I'm just kind of going down some list here. Here's that pricing recommendation. Gives you a little paragraph, very similar to what you had before in the old system. You got your statistics here, and then you got your a little analysis with, hey, this is what I think you should list your house at there. Okay, so once you're looking at it here, you can just go back to the pages section, start taking out pages you don't like, start adding pages you do like. Make sure you upload yours and set it as your default when you're done, and then make sure you save it also. And that's how you do your CMA. So I hope this helps you. Thank you.